Hey, how's it going? Welcome back to another episode of Growing Your Life. I'm your host, Zach Padayo, and I hope you're having a wonderful day. Got some really good content for you today that I've put together. So I've been asking people, hey, what's something that you really struggle with that you could, use some help, like some coaching tips on, and, what would that be? And a lot of people have been saying to me, I struggle with organization, and then others have been saying time management. And for those people that I've talked to that struggle with organization, guess what one of their number one issues is as well? Companion issue, if you could call it that. It's time management. And for those that struggle with time management, their other issue that they struggle with a lot of times is organization. And so the two are going hand in hand. We're going to talk about that today. But first, I just want to share with you a little bit about who I am. So I am a Christian. I am a life coach. I have my own business. It's called it's called Thrive. And I also have this channel is my channel. It's Growing Your Life. And I have a website as well. So I love to coach people. I'm really passionate about mentorship. And as a Christian, I would say as a Christian, and then also just somebody who really cares about the development of other people, I'm really passionate about getting everybody the knowledge that they need to be able to thrive in life and achieve their goals, and objectives. So that's why I started my business, Thrive. And so I do coaching with people and just really passionate about helping people to achieve their goals and thrive in life. And so this episode is one of the topics that I serve people on is time management, and then also organization as well. So I coach people on those. So if you struggle in this area and you're thinking throughout this episode, this would be really helpful to get some help, I want to encourage you in the description box of this video below, you're going to find my website. It's called growingyourlife.net, and I want you to click that and contact me, and we can set up an appointment to where we can just talk about what you're working through and how we might be able to partner together to get you the results that you need. And I'm very good at what I do. Okay, we're going to hop back into it. So when it comes to time management, I want you to think about your day. So I create this content to help you grow in your relationship with God, personal and then also professional development as well. And then also if you have a business, this is really important because the things that you do in your life as far as just in your personal development are going to pour over into your business. So what you're learning and you're growing in is going to help you in your productivity everywhere else. Very much so your business. If you don't stay smart in your business, or I would say in your personal life, you're not going to be very smart in your business and on your game to be helping, those that you serve out the best. So keep with it. Those of you who have a business as well, my question for you is, I want you to picture yourself waking up in your day. The first thing that you do you go to your phone or do you open your email and you think, what are the problems that everybody else has today? And then, if that's the case, do you find yourself kind of getting caught up in the problems of everybody else and what they need you to do today? Or maybe you have a family and you wake up and the first thing that you hear is, Dad! Or Mom! I need this! And then you scramble out of bed and then you go and you're like, I've got to go help them right away. Of course, if you have a family, that's important. And that should be important, taking care of them. However, there needs to be a point in your day, hopefully very, very early on, where you figure out these are the things that I need to do. And these are the things that are important to me. Now, some people don't do this and they let the day get away from them and they focus on all of the problems of other people. And if you keep on doing that for a couple days straight, you're going to find yourself very off base from achieving what it is in your day that is important to you to be the most productive and the most efficient and the most ready to tackle any of the problems that come your way. And I want to say this from an organized standpoint, is you need to be highlighting in your life what is important, for your day, and then also for your week and your month as well. What are the things that you're trying to achieve in life and why are they important? That's a big question that I'm going to ask you. Figure that out. And then once you figure that out, and I have episodes beforehand check the episodes that I've given you. So I would say one of them is how to find God's strategy for your life. I think that's the title, but it's in there. Check out some of the other videos, and I talk to you about how to find out, what it is, that one thing that you should be doing to keep you most productive and focused on what you need to be able to be achieving your goals and then also thrive in life. So check out those episodes. But what I'm going to say for you for this is you need to figure out, first of all, what is that one thing that you should be focused on or what are those couple of things that you need to be focused on in your life? And then also your daily and your weekly and your monthly schedule should be focused on tackling those things. So when I'm going to bring this, back to center. When you are waking up in your morning, you need to be asking yourself the question of, what are my top priorities in life? And then what are my top priorities because of those things? What are my top priorities today that I should be focused on to be able to achieve what I need to be benefiting those areas? And then also, what can I do to remove the stress from the other things that maybe cause me problems or issues or kind of get in the way, so that I can be the most productive person, focused on helping people in the way that I need to, so that I get some return out of that. You should be having some return out of that, because if nothing's coming back to you, my friend, my question is, if there's no resources or anything like that are going to be coming back to you, how are you going to keep on giving back to other people? Like, you need to think of it like that, because ultimately, if you're constantly being drained out and you're not being filled up, what are you going to have to pour out? You may have food, you may have water, you may have oxygen, but if you're being reduced to where you're nothing, or you have not too much, you need to be filled up. And I talk about this with people in their relationship with God too, like, if you're first and foremost, not spending time with God and finding out what He has to say about your life and encouraging you in the things that are important to Him and about the things that are, important to Him for your life, then how are you being built up? If you're constantly being told, you gotta do this, gotta do that, gotta do this, gotta do that, what of you is left, right? That's not a way to continue to be motivated to live in. So you got to be giving back to yourself in some way, shape, or form. So I'm going to share with you, this is my strategy for what I wake up and I do in the morning. So when I wake up, I'll get ready and everything like that for the day, but then I'll sit down and I'll pray and I'll say, God, okay, what are my top priorities today? I'll spend some time with God and I'll kind of get focused on what is important to you. What do you want to talk to me about? Because He's the master and commander of everything. And if you find out what's important to Him, then you can go about doing what is important ultimately for you, for your day. Because as a Christian, I don't live for myself. I live for God first and foremost, and then I live for other people. And I take care of myself so I can help other people really well. And I think it's also important to focus on your skills and your abilities too, and take some time to be able to develop those so you can be sharper for helping those clients, helping those people around you. So your wife, so your husband, so your family can be getting the best of you instead of the worst of you. So I'll take that time and I'll pray and I'll say, okay, Lord, what's important to you? And then maybe I'll read some scriptures, and then after that, what I'll do is I'll get my notebook, right? Notes for this episode. But I'll get my notebook and I'll write down, okay, what is the number one thing that's most important? What did I write down? I said, right. What's the number one thing that's most important today that I need to achieve? And then the other things as well, God will have me get those things out on paper. And then after that, what I'll do is I'll write down, okay, what do you want me to prioritize? And God will say, okay, take a look at your schedule. What are the things that what are the commitments that you have today? And then where can you fit these things in to achieve what you need to? And so a little tip, with God, He knows everything. So you can pray and you can say, okay, Lord, I have these things going on today. If you say this is really important, I don't know where I'm going to fit this in. And then here's the thing, is what God will do is He might just deal with you about that thing right there. That's not important. And here is why. Is because you're going to be doing this, and actually this doesn't need to be achieved until tomorrow or the next day, or the walk of faith, he might just say, that's just not important. I don't want you to focus on that today. Focus on doing this instead. And so it's important to listen to God. So Abraham, he was a patriarch of the Jews, and then also the Christians, and also the Muslims today. We all go back to, people are people, right? Whatever religion it is, people are people, and we all relate back to who gave birth to us. So as far as our faith is concerned, I know as a Christian, we all go back to Father Abraham, who did this. He believed God, even when it came to the impossible, and God put that credit towards him as righteousness, to be in right standing with God. And so Abraham walked by faith throughout all of his life. And the things that he did, he listened to God and he did them, and they didn't amount to nothing. They amounted to a whole lot. And so that's how God wants us to walk. He wants us to walk believing in him. His words, they have to be his words. They can't be the words of anybody else. We have to be doing what he says because he honors that. Because he's got the perfect way. He wants to put your life together, not have it be torn apart. And so if we focus on what the truth is and we walk in faith to, okay, God, you're telling me to do this, put these other things out of my life for today, or not focus them and do them today, but do as you say according to what you want, you're going to accredit that to me as righteousness. And that's faith, walking in faith to do what God wants instead of what you want. And God will honor that. So I say that because I bring all that back to say is that God knows your day. He knows what's really important. So believe in him. If he says this isn't good, you can work it out on paper. I don't want you to do this. Work it out on paper. Okay. Oh, that's why. Is because I deduced this and this and this, and that equals, that's not an important thing. So, and it's important to be praying to find out, what God says is important. Be sensitive to him and his voice so you're just not missing it. Oh, I just wanted to do that and I thought it'd be productive. But it turns out it was not. How can you avoid that? Spend time praying, listening to God, and then trying to follow doing what he says. And a little tip for that I have is just writing down something that he says to you, deals with you about, and then kind of research it. Understand it, figure out what's going on around that, because God wants to give us good counsel and he wants us to figure out what that good counsel is. So, okay, so going through your day, got in a little bit of a tangent there, but when it comes to going through your day, write down those specific things of what you need to be doing, and then also ask him, when is it that I should do it? And this is what I'll do, is I'll go throughout my day and I'll write down when I should be doing those things and what other commitments I'll have. I'll write those things down. So I've got my priorities and I've got my commitments, and I'm figuring out a way in between to be able to make them work, so I can achieve both in my day. And then this is what I'll do, is I'll go through and I'll find out what are the things, if I need more time or if I'd like more time, what are the things that I'm doing that are not very, very beneficial to help me achieve what I'm required to do, my responsibilities, or what I should be doing to be able to reach my life goals. You know what I mean? So taking care of your family, making sure you're doing well at your job, serving other people and serving the Lord, most importantly, making sure that you're doing those things. And those things are not, they're not separate from each other. God wants us to honor him with everything and love our neighbor as ourselves. If we do that, and we're doing well with our family, and then also our friendships as well, and our working relationships, and working well for our employer and treating other people well, that is fulfilling the law. And that law is given us so we can thrive. And so if you're doing well in all those areas, that's great. He doesn't want you to neglect one, all for the sake of neglecting it. Really, if you're doing well in all those areas, you're serving him in everything, because you are a whole person and you're optimized to be able to help out people in the way that you need to. So, find out those things that you aren't doing, or that you are doing that are not very beneficial, and then, let me do a better angle. Flick it. Get rid of it so you don't need it anymore, or just not do it. don't focus on it. Switch your priorities to something else. And that way what'll happen is you're being methodical about your day, listing out your priorities and figuring out, what are my priorities? What are the objectives that I should be achieving? And then also what's really important that I should make sure that I'm doing to take care of those. You can find out what the things are, again, that you don't need, and remove those from your schedule so you're not doing things that are not important. And let me tell you, this is what's going to happen. You're going to find yourself a whole lot more productive. You're going to find yourself a whole lot more motivated because you're getting the things done that you need to. And you're just going to be a whole lot more motivated because you're getting to where you want to be in life and maintaining what you need to. So the flip side of that is not paying attention to what your priorities are. You're sitting down in conversations with people and they're like, oh, hey, did you do this? And you're like, oh, shoot, everything else got in the way. Or maybe you're just not keeping track of what you should be doing. And you have that conversation with people and they're like, hey, did you do this like I asked you, like your boss or I don't know, your family members or whoever. And then you're like, oh no, I totally forgot we had that in that conversation. Here's a tip. Write it down. And if you're writing these things down, you're going to be able to refer to that each day you wake up. And what are my priorities? I'm going to check that list. Oh, there it is. I need to make sure that I'm doing that in my day. So, and this is what that's going to do. It's going to take a lot of that mental juggling to make sure, I don't know how you juggle, like mental juggling to make sure that you don't like drop that ball. You know what I mean? Oh, shoot, I dropped that. If you write it down, you're not going to have to remember it. And if you're focusing on it every single day, you're not going to be stressing about, what did I forget? Showing up to work, oh, shoot, did I do everything I was supposed to? Or like looking at your spouse. Oh, no, I don't want to have that conversation because I should have did it and I didn't do it. But if you're doing that each and every single day, it's going to help you out. It's going to relieve a lot of stress. So those are my tips for you, my friends. So my number one question for you is, what is something that you struggle with and that you could be doing a little bit differently? How could you tweak your life a little bit more differently so you're a little bit more organized and better with your time management? And then what's something that you'd like to see me go over in the following or in the next episodes after this? So growing your relationship with God. How can you grow in your relationship with God? Personal development, also professional development, or also business. Those topics as well. Ask me those. Drop that in the comment section below. If you could use any help with coaching, reach out to me on my website as well. So if you like this episode, what I want you to do is I want you to smash that like button and then also hit the subscribe button as well if you want to continually get more content, because it's just going to get better and more juicy to help you grow in your relationship with God, your personal development, professional development, and also help you grow your business and the work you do there. So and if you know of somebody who could really benefit from this video, share it with them. Just share it with them. Okay, guys, love you guys, and hope you're having a wonderful day. I'll talk to you later in the next episode.